Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Happy Saturday to everybody out there. This past Thursday night we had the NBA draft lottery, as they call it. And you want to talk about chalk? It was chalk, especially with, I would say, the top 10 picks. I think every single website that I saw just about had the top 10 picks in order as they happened. So there was no surprises, especially inside the top 10. We had Victor Wembanyama going to the Spurs. Now, I mentioned a few months back here on the channel that I wanted everybody to watch Victor Wembanyama, and hopefully you heeded my advice and watched him, because the kid is talented, and I can't say he's not, because he is, but the problem is I think people are overlooking all the other issues. Does he shoot the ball great? No. But for a 7'4" guy, he shoots the ball great. Does he pass the ball great? No. But for a 7'4" guy, he passes the ball great. He's a good player, but I don't think nothing he does translates to the NBA level. And I don't understand it, because last year Chet Holmgren got drafted real high, and everybody talked about how Chet Holmgren wouldn't make it because he's too tall and lanky. But Victor Wembanyama is basically the same player as Chet Holmgren, and people act like he's the greatest player ever. Well, you can't have two players that are basically virtually the same height and same weight and say one's too small, but one's going to be great. Don't work that way. The one difference between Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama is when Chet Holmgren plays, he doesn't play like he's 9'12", a buck 75. He's tough. He's physical. Victor is not. I seen Victor get manhandled by about a 6'6", 280-pound white guy at the FIBA under 20 game. I just don't think he is physical enough to make it in the NBA. I think he's going to get ran over and get destroyed, because he's going to try to get in the lane. And when you're 9'12", 165 pounds, that's just not going to work. Plus, I think he's going to have health problems because of the fact he's so tall and skinny. But we can compare easily, because Tim Duncan would walk circles around Victor Wembanyama, but people are acting like Victor's so great. Tim Duncan's first year with the Spurs, they went from a 20-win team to a 50-some-odd win team. I'll go ahead and tell you, the Spurs will not go from a 20-win team to a 50-win team because of Victor Wembanyama. It's not going to happen. Victor's good, but there's nothing he does that's great. He's too small, and he's not nearly physical enough. He's going to get pushed around. That's just my personal opinion. Brandon Miller goes number 2 to the Hornets. Number 3, Scoot Henderson to the Blazers. 4 and 5 was brothers. Amen Thompson goes to the Rockets, and Asar Thompson goes to the Pistons. And then we had Anthony Black going to the Orlando Magic. And the 7 and 8 picks make no sense to me. Bilal Coulibaly goes to the Pacers, and Jarace Walker goes to the Wizards. And supposedly, it's not official yet, but Bilal is going to be traded to the Wizards for Jarace. So I think the Pacers should have just drafted Jarace, and the Wizards should have just drafted Bilal. Makes no sense to me. Number 9, Taylor Hendricks going to the Jazz, and rounding out the top 10 is Cason Wallace. And then I'll go ahead and do 11 through 15 just so I can mention my Pelicans. Number 11, Jet Howard goes to the Magic. Number 12, Derek Lively II to the Thunder. Number 13, Grady Dick to the Raptors. Number 14, Jordan Hawkins going to my Pelicans. And number 15, Kobe Buffkin is going to the Atlanta Hawks. I saw a proposed trade earlier this week, I think it was Tuesday, about how the Pistons want to get Zion Williamson. And my first thought was, get him, because the best ability is availability, and Zion is not going to play more than 15 games a year, maybe 20. I don't care if you score 75 points a game with 85 rebounds and 25 assists. If you're on the bench all the time, you're useless. And Zion has proven he cannot stay healthy. Now, I'm not sure whether or not that's actually a legitimate chance of that happening, or if that was just a Pistons fan wanting that. But if I'm the Pistons front office, I'm not trading 4 or 5 players to get one guy that's never going to play. That's just me. Now, I wish the Pelicans would trade him because he's useless, but I don't see how you do, because nobody's going to want him because he's not going to play. But any thoughts on this, as always, please feel free to let me know. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. I've entered the annual tightest hat competition in our town. I'm just hoping that I can pull it off. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.